When are American citizens that are currently living in Illinois going to actually open up their eyes, start to critically think about reality? You're president of your United States of this America. Two guys in a leadership role doing nothing. They should not be here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Governor Pritzker for the sake of this particular Daily Grip. Well, we are back at it here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Gallagher Grip studio on the south side of Chicago, and I am in love with this studio, and I am a guy that is going to talk to you about a lovely governor who's doing lovely things in the lovely state of Illinois. Wow. When are people going to wake up here? When are American citizens that are currently living in Illinois going to actually open up their eyes, start to critically think about reality? You have got a governor right now that is basically on a mission to do interviews with all kinds of radio stations, all kinds of platforms, and he is doing nothing but tearing down your president of your United States of this America. I watched him on an interview the other day, and the man is sitting there professing to completely believe that Donald Trump, President Trump, has got dementia. Why? Why does a leader of a state, any leader, whether they're Republican or Democrat, think that they should go around and publicly make false accusations about the current president of the United States, who is running circles, circles around this man and what he's doing to just handle one state in this country? Can you please tell me why? To my followers, my subscribers, my watchers, my guests, I bring these topics up because I'm really looking forward to your opinions. Why? Why does a leader of a state, a governor of a state, feel it's the right thing to do to go around on a campaign trail and do nothing but tear down your existing president of this United States of America, making claims such as the man is an idiot, the man doesn't know what he's doing, the man's got dementia? Get out of here. You know what, Governor Pritzker, you and your words, just get out of here. Do you want to know what the absolute best thing for this great state of Illinois would be? I got it for you, ladies and gentlemen. To get rid of him, to get rid of Mayor Brandon Johnson, who that's a whole nother story in and of itself. Two guys in a leadership role doing nothing but destroying what a man is trying to do to clean up, to shape up, to ship out all of the people that should not, in fact, be here. They should not be here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own views on this particular topic. ICE agents, Chicago, nationwide, other states, other cities, et cetera, et cetera. But when you really take a step back, and I'm talking about Governor Pritzker for the sake of this particular Daily Grip, how can a leader of a man, that's like a leader it's like a leader of a soccer team, a leader of a football team saying, hey, you know what? When you get the ball, just hand it to the other team. Let the other team score. And when they actually start running towards you, just step aside. Let them get in the goal. Let them get in the end zone. It's crazy. And I know I'm not the only one that believes it's crazy. I know that there are, listen to me carefully, millions and millions and millions of people out there that think it's crazy. So if there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people out there that think it's crazy, how are we going to let this man continue in office as the leader of a state that is in such disarray? It's unbelievable. How? Why would we do that? You know, Why would we elect a mayor in the city of Chicago that everybody knows and knew that he wasn't capable of running the actual city? Why? Is it the Democratic machine? Is that what it boils down to? Is it the Democratic monstrous machine that is set forth to seek and destroy? And I am not talking about the Metallica song, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking about a true vision to seek and destroy and take out and remove your enemy at all costs whatsoever. If there is ever a chance for Chicago to see a Republican mayor, which whether you like it or not, we need the red. We need the red team we need the red team in the game as the coach. We in Illinois absolutely need a Republican governor and a Republican mayor. Give it a shot. If anything, give it a shot. Anybody can do better. I mean, let's be honest. Anybody can do better than what we're currently seeing. Forget about policies. Forget about procedures. Forget about pro formas. Forget about financials. Forget about budgets. Why don't you actually take a look at the character of the man that is behind the microphone actually speaking? I can tell you this. If I was running for governor, if I was running for mayor, it would be a lot. It would take an awful lot for me to actually say comments such as, well, I'll tell you what, the gentleman that's running here is a complete idiot. This guy that's running up against me has got dementia. This guy that's running up against me is a absolute, complete, and total moron, and everything and anything that he's saying makes absolutely no sense. Now, I know some of you are actually going to reference Donald Trump, President Trump's words when he was actually debating Joseph Biden. The difference here, and I have to say it and be clear, whether you agree or disagree with me, and I respect your opinion one way or another, is pretty confident that President Joseph Biden did have dementia, which was one of the most embarrassing debates I think the history of the world has ever seen in existence of this world. It was unbelievable to watch those two debate and how President Biden couldn't even get a word out or a thought process, etc. You have got a leader. You have got a leader of a state, the one who is supposed to show the most amount of class, the most amount of resilience, the most amount of critical thinking, the most amount of objectivity when it comes to a certain situation or a problem that is occurring within the state that he has been elected to lead. That's what we have, a guy who is the complete opposite of all those bullet points I just said. And it goes to character. You might not have, look, I'm going to reference the movie Rudy, okay? And if you haven't seen the movie Rudy, you should go ahead and rent him. Here is a young man that absolutely should not have been on the Notre Dame team. But you want to know something? That young man was a fighter, and he was persistent, and he made the decision in his heart and in his mind that he wasn't going to give up. And he didn't give up, and he got accepted into Notre Dame, and he was a part of that team throughout those years of him being at Notre Dame. And folks, this guy was a young, skinny kid and got beaten and beaten and beaten during practice, but he never gave up. He never gave up. He did what he needed to do to live out his dreams. That's character. That is what I'm referencing. That is the inner character and the fight and the will to want to succeed and be somebody. You don't need a leader in any state, okay, that openly just does nothing but put down what somebody is trying to do to make a state safer and better. Look, to the people of Illinois, I am going to look you in the eyes and say that if you don't think that this state needs a monumental change, and I'm talking about a monumental change, a complete dissection in every single category, then I think we are doomed to be a great state again. Now, that is my opinion. That is simply my opinion, and you can blow me up on the comments here, but when I actually take a step back and I look at my leader, okay, who is unfortunately my leader in this state, but I look, I watch, I listen, and I'm in tune to everything he's trying to do politically, because it's all a spin, it's all a game, it's all a spin, it's all say this word, do this, do that, and if you say this or do that, then these groups of people will think this, and we can expect these voters over here to do that. It's all a strategic ploy. It's a game. It's a coach, coaching a football team. He's up there absolutely doing nothing but going against every single little thing imaginable that our president is implementing across the board to make this state safe, better, and great again. Now, I don't know what you folks think out there. I really don't, but I've got my own opinion and I've got my own view. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice for a change? You ever get that feeling like when you change out a car, you have a car for 5 years, maybe 6 years, and then you go and you buy a new car. Maybe it's a used car, but it's new to you. And that feeling that you have that next day when you wake up, when you drove it home and you got to get in the car and you turn the key and you smirk a little bit because it's a new thing. It's brand new and you're excited because you got this car. Could you imagine having that same feeling, having a new governor behind the desk? Could you imagine that? Just imagine that for 1 second. These governors, these leaders, I believe all of them are in office way too long. I believe they're all in office way too long. But just imagine that. Imagine waking up tomorrow and having a new governor behind the desk. I wonder how that would make the people feel. Now, I'm to clarify. I mean a governor who will actually do something. I mean a governor who will actually speak with professionalism, who will present himself as a leader instead of somebody tearing everybody down, which, yeah, in today's day and age, politics, I get it. Everybody's throwing daggers here and throwing daggers here for the sake of getting the vote. Because at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, everyone. The vote. How many people can I get to vote for me so I can get in office and be a leader and do what I think is right for this state or this country? That is what it's all about. The vote. The vote. Imagine a state where you have a Republican governor and a Republican mayor all on the same page, with their policies, with their procedures, with tearing apart this state's budget, because the budget's a disaster, everybody. You have a mayor actually coming out publicly stating that he believes we've reached the end. We have reached the end of repairability. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? That's like turning to your wife saying, honey, we've got no money. We've reached the end. We're going down. And I'm not going to go look for a job because we're at the end. Or it's like being on a boat and or a cruise. It's like being on a cruise, like the Titanic. We are at the end and there is no way to solve it. There's no boats to get off of it. There's no life jackets. There's nothing. Sit there and die. Sit there and let the boat sink. What if we actually had a leader who would not let the boat sink? What if we had a leader who actually maybe, gave the boat a little bit more gas so the water didn't get in the boat to get to dry land? Now, I'm using analogies. I get it. But folks, you get the point. It would be a lovely day to have a governor that can actually lead with the utter level of professionalism and actually act for the American people in this state of Illinois, instead of teaming up with a mayor who's completely unfit. And I believe we're at the point now where people are all seeing that he's unfit. Now, I'm not being disrespectful to the man. I'm not being disrespectful to the man, but I am being disrespectful to the people out there that thought the man was capable enough to actually run the city of Chicago. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to wisen up. We have got to smarten up. We've got to look at the candidates and truly decipher if these people are the right people to be in the leadership position based upon past experiences, based upon real results, not political results, real results. I think we need a street guy in there. I think that we need a street guy, not a business guy who's worked, let me clarify, not a business guy who was in the family business and got kicked out and so on and so forth. I'm talking about a guy who started on the streets and made it great and focused and fought all the way to the end to make his life better for himself and his family. That's the guy that we need, not somebody that was handed everything and just woke up one day and said, I think I want to be governor. I think I want to be governor. I want to live in the governor's mansion. I want to have the power. I want to have this. I want to have that, and so on and so forth. Where's the street guy? The street guy that actually wears the suit and tie, but underneath that suit and tie, he's all street. That's what we need. That's what this state needs. We need the street guy. It's time to make real mental changes in the way that we think here in some of these states that are being ran by a Democratic machine. It is time. I want to see Illinois win. I want to see Illinois thrive. I want to see the people in this amazing state to actually smile. I don't see anybody smiling. Hell, get in your car and go to work. Get in your car right now and go down the street and go to a Starbucks or go out to breakfast or go out to eat. Well, you're not going to see anybody smile. No. Maybe we should change the name to Make Illinois Smile again. Maybe that should be a slogan. Make Illinois smile again, because it's filled with frowns. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a state ran, this state of Illinois, by a Republican governor that is on the same page with a Republican mayor in the city of Chicago, where we can actually make this state great again.